I mean, in the last lecture, you have understood this concept, isn't it? I hope. Yeah. So now what we shall do is, this is again the classroom analogy which I told you. So you have come to the class right now because I am essentially, for example, if you notice that for the last, I think five minutes or so, I said that I am busy with something else. So you are thinking, I mean, what there's nothing interesting, right? So basically, it's the same thing which happens in the case of a device. You switch off the power supply, the circuit and the device stops operating. Okay. So here, what we observe is there is a faculty, which is essentially the bias in the classroom. The bias, the reason why the students will come and sit in the chairs. Remember, if the faculty is not there, what is the difference? Students will not be there in the class. Okay, if the faculty is not there. So if the faculty is there, the students will be interested to come and sit in the classroom. So these are the students. And here I shall call it as the free carriers, or let us say simply electrons. Okay, what are these chairs? Chairs are the density of states. Now, what is the meaning of the density of states? We have seen in our towards the conclusion of the lecture today in the morning. But whenever we say density of states, please remember there is this energy word which is missing. This is basically density of energy states. Okay, यानी कि कितना chairs है वहां पर, ठीक है? So now we will have the statistical mechanics concept. So clearly understand that where does quantum mechanics come into the picture? Jitna matlab throughout the course we have been doing quantum mechanics and solid state, right? So quantum mechanics and solid state basically defines the density of these chairs. Okay. Then statistical mechanics defines what is the probability that these chairs will be occupied by the students, electrons. Okay. Then faculty wala jo bias hai na, ye bias, how does it, what determines the bias? Can anybody tell me? Just be intelligent and tell me. Which part of physics essentially defines the bias? बोलो. Chairs. Chairs कहाँ से आ रहा है? From quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics से quantum mechanics से आपका आता है solid state physics, which is basically the same as these chairs, available energy states. ठीक है? ये student electrons कहाँ से आ रहा है? Student electrons तो है ही basically, but they will come and sit in the chairs depending on the faculty, if their faculty is there, and also depending on what kind of particle it is. We will understand these particles and all in a few minutes. So this probability of occupying these chairs, students यहाँ रह सकते हैं, जैसे कि as I told you, students will be there on the campus, but doesn't matter. Students are somewhere, they are somewhere in India. But whether you will essentially come to this class or not depends on the bias, whether I am taking the class or not. Okay. So once the students are, this probability of coming to the class and joining the class is essentially determined by the stat mech or statistical mechanics. Okay. Very, very interesting thing is going on here. I have already been receiving a lot of applications from many of you, many among you who want to do projects with me. So I will get back to you on these emails. So over there, I will basically see what your interests are, because I mean, you can work in circuits, you can work on devices, you can work on machine learning. Okay. So, so there are many aspects in my research group. So this is a statistical mechanics, is basically the students will essentially come and occupy. Okay. Abhi bias ka kisi ne bata nahi paya. So the part of physics which defines this is basically Maxwell's equations, otherwise EM theory. Yeah, or simply put, we will call it as electrostatics, let us say. Let me call it electromagnetics. The reason why I would prefer electromagnetics is that when we are dealing with simplest diode BJT kind of devices, there is no magnetic field involved. There is no magnetic field even when we are essentially, I mean, whenever we are dealing with bias, like whenever we are not bothered about very high frequencies, for example. Okay, if it is a very high frequency, then for example, you might have heard RF microelectronics, RF radio frequencies and high frequencies. In those cases, there will be electromagnetics. Magnetism is also coming into the picture. But other than that, apart from that, in the standard uh, device courses, like when we are dealing with only DC or very low frequencies, I mean, this magnetic issues are not there. So what is more important over there is simply electrostatics. Okay, we will get into that. So basically, this is electromagnetics. I'll put this electromagnetics is basically Maxwell's equations. Okay, so that is classical physics which is there for the biases. ठीक है, यानी कि VGS कितना दे रहे हैं, उसके electric field कितना होगा, all those things are electrostatics. Okay, so that means whenever we are going to study a device later on, so we are almost finishing off with the pre-devices part of this course. ठीक है ना, we are almost towards the end. So electromagnetics, like when we are dealing with PN junctions, then we will do PN junctions का electrostatics करेंगे. ठीक है, उसके बाद हम करेंगे दूसरा, that is called transport. वो हम आ रहे हैं कुछ देर में. So now this electromagnetics या electrostatics is basically the bias. Okay, very good. So there are three aspects here. One, fundamental availability of energy states. Number two, once the energy states या chairs are available, then what is the statistical mechanics will define the probability that the students will come and sit in the chair. Number three is that electrostatics define the biases. Okay, there are three factors which will essentially define or describe the device behavior, performance, सब कुछ. Okay ना? Very good. So in the modern in the morning class, in the lecture, we have essentially derived this. आप लोग एक बार वीडियो देख लेना, वहां पर हमने करके रखे हैं. So let me see. This one. Okay, so now what we shall do here is, now when we are essentially trying to get to the various kinds of particles in the world. ठीक है, so हमने अभी चेयर के बारे में बात किए हैं, right? So there are different kind of human beings, different kind in the sense, every one of us are having different cultures, right? I'm a Bengali myself, and there are many of you who are Telugu, many of you who are, let us say, Hindi speaking North Indian from different parts of India. So all of our cultures have their own flavors. Okay, everyone have got, I mean, their own cultural aspects, some different flavor. In fact, for example, nobody can ever say that okay, red color is bad or green color is good. No, it's your personal preference. Okay, but other than that, this all the colors, blue, red, these are all different parts of the spectrum. Similarly, we are all Indians, right? So basically we are having different kind of cultures. Similarly, the statistical mechanics, as I told you, the students over here, they are essentially coming from different backgrounds, different cultures, and that is what spices up the class. The reason why we are speaking in English is because if I start speaking in, for example, I know 4 languages. Okay, I know English, Hindi, Bengali, and French. Okay, I was in Switzerland for quite some time, so I can speak in French. Okay, so now the point is that the reason why I'm speaking in English is because English is known to everybody. Okay, so but if I am in France, for example, then I would prefer to speak in French over there. I wish I can. I'm thinking of learning Telugu. So once I speak in Telugu, I can basically access most of the students over here in this class, right? So the point is that I will always prefer to use a language which everybody knows, but that doesn't mean that I prefer English specifically. ठीक है? उसी तरह से everybody is coming with their own language, own set of literature, own cultural background, and that spices up the society and everything. So now let's understand this part. Similarly, statistical mechanics is basically the physics of the particle behavior. ठीक है? यानी कि I mean, what kind of particle will behave like which manner when subject to this kind of properties? ठीक है ना? That means once the energy states are available, that means once the chairs are available, okay, some students prefer to how will the students react to available chairs? Okay, so for example, that way different particles, for example, you have got the ideal gas molecules, okay, then billiard balls, golf balls, so solid particles like dust particles in air, they will all follow a statistics called Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. Okay, we will talk about MB statistics if we really need it, otherwise it's not much of our concern. So all the classical particles, that means which do not have the quantum properties in them, as I have already discussed, these are all called Maxwellian particles which follow Maxwell-Boltzmann statistics. Okay? Now when we are going into the quantum particle, then there is a big difference between Maxwellian and quantum. You know what? This is it. So when we are dealing with the classical particles now, okay, then the physics is such that we can distinguish, we can identify the particles separately. Okay, it's something similar to calling, looking at the like billiard balls. So in the billiard ball table, you will find different balls. You can see the different balls. You can identify, okay, not the right one, but the left one. Okay, you can identify it. So that's why it is called distinguishable particles. These are typical examples are these. Okay, whereas in the quantum world, they are all indistinguishable particles. So that means Bose-Einstein as well as Fermi-Dirac statistics, these kind of particles. So these are the statistics. That means these are the models which essentially describe the particles called boson, describe the particle called fermion, describe the particle called Maxwellian. So Maxwellian particles are the classical particles which essentially have MB statistics which can model their behavior. समझ में आ रहा है? ठीक है? Similarly, bosons. What are bosons? Bosons are the names of that group of particles which are quantum particles, indistinguishable particles, and they follow Bose-Einstein statistics. For fermions are similarly indistinguishable quantum particles which follow Fermi-Dirac statistics. So यानी कि these examples were already discussed in the very first few lectures of this course. Okay, first year, second lecture, I forgot. Now, what is the distinction between the quantum particles? Because both of them are indistinguishable, right? So in these indistinguishable quantum particles, में एक हो जाएगा half integral spins. The other one is the integral spin. That means whole number. Okay, so if they are the whole number kind of, then they are bosons. Typical examples are energy quanta, photons, phonons, these kind of. That means energy particles. Remember, in those classes, I have also described about gravitons, muons, pions, mesons, gluons. I mean, many are there. So these are all elementary particles which are particles of energy. Okay? Whereas when we are discussing about the FD statistics, they are essentially matter particles. Typical example, electron, protons, and all that. Okay? So our main concern in the statistical mechanics will be only this. Why? Because of our favorite particle, electrons. Okay? Now comes a very interesting part कि Fermi-Dirac distribution function या Fermi-Dirac statistics को हम define कैसे करते हैं. ठीक है. In the textbooks you will only find that equation, and over here we will understand how that equation has come. Little bit of small derivation is there, and once you understand that, things will become much clearer. Fermi Dirac distribution function आया कहाँ से? Okay. All right. So now let us see. I mean, now we are trying to understand this Fermi Dirac distribution function. Okay, let's understand this. Suppose this is the energy axis, energy in electron volt. Okay, and these are essentially the energy levels. Energy levels. Okay, so आपका यहाँ पर हो गया epsilon I minus 1. What is this? These are the various energy levels. Okay, or rather let me put it like this. There is a bunch of energy levels here. Only energy levels, energy states. Okay, so this one. Then the next energy level will be epsilon I. There is below also epsilon I minus 2 dot dot dot, and above also epsilon I plus 1, epsilon I plus 2, and again dot dot dot. Okay, now what have I drawn over here? These are the energy levels. Remember in our previous one of the lectures I had discussed, there is a difference between energy in case of digital, voltage level and voltage state, या फिर logic level, the other one is logic state. What does that? Logic state क्या है? 0 and 1 for binary logic. Logic level क्या है? 0 and VDD. Okay, so similarly here energy level is in electron volts. Okay, whereas energy states क्या क्या है? These are the energy states here. Energy states. So try to understand this very, very clearly. So energy states are written in Gi as a function of energy E. What does it mean? That in this energy level, let us say 2 electron volt, 2 electron volt energy level में कितने सारे energy states हैं, यानी कि कितने सारे chairs हैं, ठीक है? यानी कि यहाँ पर मान लो आपके पास सिर्फ 4 energy states हैं. Cool, very good. अब now for the next energy level 3 electron volt वाला energy level में यहाँ पर क्यों नहीं है कुछ अंदर? It's not a continuous energy states, right? Why? Because we have seen quantum mechanics ने हमें तो बता दिया कि in the when we are talking about energy energy states, energy levels are quantized in the quantum world, right? तो यहाँ पर 3 electron volts वाला एनर्जी लेवल पे कितने सारे स्टेट्स हैं? 1 2 3 4. यहाँ पर और थोड़ा बढ़ा देते हैं, because later on we will see that there are more number of energy states at the ground level. Lower energies में ज्यादा रहते हैं. So how many are here? 8. So let's put it 6. उसके ऊपर 4, उसके ऊपर 2, ठीक है? Like this. Okay. Now comes the interesting part. So this is how it is arranged. And how do you get this? From quantum mechanics. Okay. Now we will have another very interesting part. That is, a group of particles are here. So these are particles. और बढ़िया से कहते हैं fermions, क्योंकि we are discussing here only FD statistics. Um, I mean, I can also teach this, but let's not bother about extra stuff. So fermions, what is the number? N in N bracket में E. So number of free fermions having the energy E. ठीक है? So let me put them as dots. Okay. Now, if you want, what is our objective over here? What is the probability that these Ne number of electrons or fermions will essentially occupy Gi number of energy states? Okay. So how can we do that? So notice now we will get back to our like +2 number of ways we can arrange Ni particles. Number of ways we can arrange the Ni particles. How much is that? Ni. Simple. हमें पता है Ni factorial. ठीक है. Similarly, what is the number of ways we can arrange the Gi number of states? Because as I said, so I'll just copy paste this one. So whenever I am writing states means simply energy states. Okay, Gi number of ways. This is basically from +2. Okay, in higher secondary, in high school. Number of ways we can. Acha, why are we essentially doing this? Can anybody tell me? Because these Ni particles are indistinguishable. देखो यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है. That is the property, fundamental property of fermions. Okay, Fermi-Dirac distribution function. So the particles which follow Fermi-Dirac distribution function. So number of ways we can arrange these Ni particles because they are indistinguishable, right? So that means there is no difference between this and this particles. Okay, very good. Now, this is essentially Ni particles. Number of ways between the Gi states. Of course, ये तो energy chairs है ना. Chairs में क्या फर्क पड़ता है? कौन सा आई मीन इसमें और इसमें? हाँ, इसमें और इसमें अंतर है. क्यों? क्योंकि उसका एनर्जी ही अंतर है, डिफरेंस है. बट एट द सेम एनर्जी लेवल दे आर द सेम. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम टेलिंग इट Gi. दैट मींस इन द ith एनर्जी लेवल. सो यानी कि यहाँ पर ith एनर्जी लेवल कौन सा है? ये वाला है ना. फॉर द ith एनर्जी लेवल यानी ith एनर्जी लेवल में जितने सारे चेयर्स है ना, उसमें इसमें और इसमें कोई अंतर नहीं है. Because they are having the same energy. Correct? So that's the reason why Gi state मैंने यहाँ पर Gi and Gi plus 1, that means Gi मतलब ith energy state and Gi plus 1, इन दोनों में अंतर है. Okay, they are not the same, but in the same energy level they are the same. It's something similar to saying that if you are on the third floor, here let us say third floor, there is no difference between if you keep on walking inside on the third floor, but if you are going from ground floor to the third floor, you have to spend a lot of energy. Okay, and if you are going from third floor to ground floor, again you are basically you are losing energy, potential energy, right? So only when you are traversing in this energy axis you need to bother about the work done. Okay, whereas if you are going in this horizontal, there is no energy lost, isn't it? So that's why there is no difference between any of the Gi number of energy states in the ith energy level. Okay, so as long as you are in the on the ith energy level, there is no difference between the arrangement of the chairs. ठीक है ना. यानी कि इस चेयर को अगर हम इसको यहां से खिसा के यहां पर बिठा दिए ना, कोई अंतर नहीं है. Okay, that's the whole point. Now, then notice that the fundamental part of Fermi-Dirac distribution function क्या था? That they follow Pauli's exclusion principle. Remember, we had studied about Pauli's exclusion principle in our high school, right? So that means no two electrons will have the same four quantum numbers. Okay? In other words, no more than two electrons can occupy the same energy state. There are different ways of kind of different ways of expressing the Pauli's exclusion principle. So what does it mean is that basically n is less than g. Okay, so what does it mean? That there is always gi minus ni number of vacancies in the ith energy. Therefore, okay, let me just write it. Since ni is always less than gi, therefore, what is the meaning of that? There are gi minus ni number of vacancies in the ith energy level or ith energy state. ओके, सो दैट मीन्स इतने सारे होल्स रहेंगे इसमें, यानी कि इस फर्मियन से मान लो यहां पर आके दो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आके बैठे हैं. अच्छा, यहां पर दो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स बैठना मतलब इसके नीचे जो स्टेट्स है ना वो सारे के सारे फिल्ड हैं. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट. I mean, two electrons will come to the higher energy level if and only if the lower energy states are all filled. ठीक है ना? So now interestingly, if all these chairs are filled with electrons, all these chairs are filled with the students, what does it mean? It means that this has become a valence band. ठीक है, no vacancy. अब यहां पर देखो, two electrons have come and sat over here. Now these these chairs are vacant. What does it mean? यहां पर अगर कोई इंटरेस्टिंग काम यहाँ पर अगर if there is something interesting going on, suppose if you are applying some +1 volt, then this person can basically come to the front. Okay, getting me? I'm trying to give you a pictorial representation. And okay, why will it come to the +1 volt? Because of the bias, the electron will actually move from here to here. Why is it able to move? Because there is vacancy. Correct. पहले क्या, but if you have applied +1 volt here also, but ये पीछे वाला इलेक्ट्रॉन कहां से जाए, कहां का जाएगा? There is no place to move only, right? So if you are applying a bias, only those electrons will be able to move where there is a vacancy. अच्छा, +1 वोल्ट आप यहां भी लगाए हो, यहां पर कुछ करंट दिखेगा क्या? नहीं, क्योंकि there are no electrons only, dear. Okay, so that means what we have understood is that, remember that classroom analogy, bias अगर है लेकिन स्टूडेंट्स ही नहीं है. For example, instead of going through the Google Meet, I think that okay, today's lecture I will take in the classroom. Cool. मैं जाके यहाँ पर बकबक करूंगा, कोई सुनने वाला नहीं है, क्योंकि you are not on campus. ठीक है? So that means even if you apply a bias, there has to be free carriers to move. Remember, I have always been mentioning this since the beginning of this course. Free carriers, carriers नहीं, free carriers. क्योंकि यहाँ पर भी free carrier, यहाँ पर भी carriers हैं, but their carriers are completely filled up. यानी this is like a valence shell. These are like the valence band, completely filled, and these are partially empty, partially full. Only then there will be a possibility of current. Electrons will move from one energy state to another energy state. Okay, so that means yes, these energy states are here, right, horizontally. So these electrons are able to move. यहाँ प्लस वोल्ट के बदले में यहाँ पर माइनस वोल्ट अप्लाई किया था, क्या करेगा? These electrons will essentially move from here to, excuse me, now these electrons will move from here to, they will simply run away from the negative voltage and essentially come over here. And given a possibility, like if you are giving one copper contact here, they will basically run through the copper wire only. They will simply go out of this material. Okay. So essentially what I'm suggesting is that this kind of movement is possible because of this biasing. But again, not only that biasing is responsible, availability of vacancy is also responsible. For example, if you apply a negative bias here, there is no problem because still there will be no current because the electrons cannot move. There are no vacancy inside that energy level. समझ में आ रहा है ना? हाँ, very good. If you have any problem, please tell me. This is very fundamental. We are almost there. काम अभी हम समझ जाएंगे. So that means, by the way, how many ways, number of ways you can arrange the holes? Okay. अब होल्स कितने तरह से आप अरेंज कर सकते हो?
G minus in factorial.
G minus
Yeah, exactly. Very good. Very simple, right? So Gi minus Ni number of holes will be there. Okay. It's not the states anymore. Let us say vacancies. Holes भी कह सकते हैं, but vacancies is more general. Factorial. Okay. Now, so that means the thermodynamic probability, dynamic probability of occupancy क्या होगा? देखो, टोटल नंबर ऑफ एनर्जी स्टेट्स क्या है? ये Gi फैक्टोरियल, एंड इट विल बी अ प्रोडक्ट ऑफ ऑल द I नंबर ऑफ स्टेट्स. अच्छा, प्रोडक्ट क्यों हो रहा है? व्हाई नॉट सम? ये एक बहुत फंडामेंटल क्वेश्चन है. अच्छा, एक चीज बताओ, ये नंबर ऑफ वेज वी कैन अरेंज Ni पार्टिकल्स वगैरह जो किए हैं ना. अच्छा, लेट मी जस्ट टेल यू फॉर द ith एनर्जी लेवल ओनली. ith एनर्जी लेवल में जहां पर हमने दिखाए हैं सिर्फ 4, हाँ, यहाँ पर या फिर I-1 में दिखाए हैं 6, आउट ऑफ विच 2 आर ऑक्यूपाइड. ठीक है. सो फॉर द I-1 सिचुएशन आपका ये Gi-1, या फिर इसको ही I कर देते हैं, या फिर एनीथिंग लाइक, imagine that this is only I, no issues. Divided by क्यों कर रहे हैं? देखो, there are Gi number of energy states in the same ith energy level. ये मान लो ये I है. इससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ओके, ith एनर्जी लेवल में मान लो कि you have got these Gi number of energy states, out of which 2 are occupied by electrons. Okay. Now, so as I told you, at the same EI energy level, it doesn't matter कि कौन इलेक्ट्रॉन कहाँ बैठ रहा है. It doesn't matter कौन सा चेयर कहाँ अरेंज करके रखे हो. Okay, as long as they are in the same energy level, that is EI. तब क्या होने वाला है कि you can basically arrange the energy states like Gi factorial जो मैंने यहाँ पर दिखाया है. ठीक है. Then if you are putting like this, you are making a big mistake in one aspect. Why? Because as I said, जो Ni number of particles जो यहाँ पर आके बैठे हैं ना, so they are also included in this Gi. So हमें यहाँ से divide करने होंगे. Because this Ni number of particles में तो कोई difference नहीं है, right? Whether this student is sitting in the front or this student is sitting at the back, really doesn't matter. Okay. So and then it doesn't matter which of these energy states are vacant also. So that means that also is something which I have to डिवाइड दिस फैक्टर फ्रॉम द ओरिजिनल GI फैक्टोरियल. क्योंकि GI फैक्टोरियल में क्या हो रहा है कि यू आर टेकिंग एज इफ all the energy states are shuffled, but the shuffling between the number of these electrons over here, that has to be excluded, right? Because it doesn't matter which of these chairs are occupied by these electrons, by these students. Okay, for example, it doesn't matter to me who joins in the classroom first. ठीक है, अगर 10 बजे से क्लास है, आप लोग कोई 9:30 बजे आया है, कोई 10 बजने से 2 मिनट पहले आया है, doesn't matter because the class will begin at 10 o'clock only. Okay, very good. So once we have got this, now comes a major important part. All of these are happening in the ith energy state. Or eith, or I'll just simply go eith energy level. ठीक है, अब मुझे एक प्रोबेबिलिटी स्टैटिस्टिक्स का एक कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्वेश्चन में बता रहा हूं. इफ आई वांट टू जनरलाइज दिस थिंग फॉर ऑल द एनर्जी स्टेट्स आई, क्योंकि ये तो सिर्फ ith एनर्जी लेवल के लिए है ना. लेट मी जस्ट रिमूव ऑल दैट. सो ith एनर्जी लेवल इज हियर. ठीक है, नाउ इफ आई वांट टू ensure this product is valid for this entire gamut, that means from -infinity to +infinity, all the energy levels. ठीक है, तब हमें क्या करना चाहिए, यानी कि the total thermodynamic probability sorry, my handwriting is not good. It's actually very difficult to write on the graphic tablets. Of occupancy is equal to, now my question is, यहाँ पर ये summation होगा या product होगा, और क्यों? Please tell me with your background of mathematics.
So because they are independent and we are talking about probability, so we need to give multiplication.
Yeah, actually what you said is correct, but they are independent. Yeah, very good. Who was this?
Ashok.
Sorry,
Ashok sir.
Ashok. Very good, awesome. Independent जो बताया ना, independent means I will come to this again and again in this course. We have also done that. Remember, they are mutually exclusive events. याद है? Mutually exclusive events. Everyone remember? Very good. So you remember that thing when we were dealing with the psi function. So it was x comma t is equal to psi x into tau of t. ये क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स में जब शुरुआत में किए थे. How can you write this? You can write it if and only if the variation with respect to space, distance, is completely independent of the variation with respect to time t. Okay, so now this is a mutually exclusive event. यानी कि आप टाइम में आप जितना कुछ काम कर लो, that is totally independent of the spatial variation, space variation. Okay, so something similar is going to happen over here. What? So that means you can see that space variation and time variation were product. Okay, it's similar to the situation of like probability of getting 3 in both the die. So 3 getting 1 phase out of 6 is 1/6. Getting 3 in both will be this. If you are having 4 die, the probability is this. Okay, so now the point is that it is a product. Okay, तो यानी कि since this is a mutually exclusive event. अच्छा, exclusive event क्या है? Like, that means the probability of occupancy of these fermions in each of these energy levels, energy state नहीं, state में कोई अंतर नहीं है. जब हम मतलब यहाँ पर जैसे वो ऑक्यूपाई करेंगे और यहाँ पे जो ऑक्यूपाई करेंगे, ऑफ कोर्स आफ्टर दिस एनर्जी स्टेट्स आर फिल्ड अप, यहाँ पर जो ऑक्यूपाई करेंगे, these two events are mutually exclusive. Okay, so what does it mean imply? Implies that it will be a product. Okay, so this is the factor which I wanted to explain. This we have got from the physics and the permutation of the energy states. This horizontal is the energy state, energy level, and the free carriers. 3 factors are involved. Okay, so once we have got that, rest is just pure math. I have done the derivation for Maxwellian statistics, boson statistics, as well as fermion. Let's concentrate only on fermions here. Okay, so what are the properties? Indistributable quantum particles with half integral spins. Fermions cannot occupy the same energy state. Pauli's exclusion principle. These are what we have discussed. Now ये W का जो value है ना, that is the thing which we have just explained. That means total thermodynamic probability of occupancy. This is what we call as W. Gi by Ni factorial, Ni factorial, Gi minus Ni factorial. That's exactly what we have done with the product. Okay, अब इसको हमें क्या करना है? Like if we want to find out the expression for Fermi-Dirac distribution function, we want to maximize this value of W. ठीक है, so इसको क्या कर सकते हैं? इसको हम log में ले लेंगे. क्यों log में लेंगे? So that we can get rid of this factorial thing. Okay, and this pi, that means continuous product. तो यहाँ पर log ले लेंगे, तो basically this is how it will look like. Product, ठीक है ना? Product becomes sum when we are dealing with logarithmics, right? So now यहाँ से हम करेंगे, and then finally we are going to, since we are trying to maximize the probability, so Fermi-Dirac distribution क्या है? We are trying to find out the maximum probability of occupation of the energy states, ठीक है ना? So what we will do is, we have done this, and here what we have done is something written in the beginning only, I think. This is called the Stirling's approximation. If you want, I can even derive this mathematics, but not kind of relevant for this course. This is just a method how it is done. This is statistical mechanics. So Stirling's approximation क्या कहता है? This is the mathematics actually. So when x log of x factorial is equal to x log x minus x, this is the mathematical relation when x tends to infinity. This is a mathematical identity. तो इसको हमने यहाँ पर add किया. So log of gi factorial becomes this, gi log gi minus gi and all that. Okay, and then what we shall do is, we'll simply take the derivative and equate it to 0. क्यों? Maximize कर रहे हैं ना. For maximum okay, so once we are doing this, तब यहाँ पर there'll be this dni and all, they will essentially get cancelled like this. This is just algebra. When after this class you can work it out. So आप finally you will end up in having this relation. 0 is equal to, बाकी का सब कट हो जाएगा, सिर्फ यही रह जाएगा. So this is going to be your equation number 1. अच्छा, okay, now notice that if we add up all the particles, then you will have something like capital N, sum of all the particles in the ith energy level. Yani ki, let's get back over here. there are several particles over here, right? So if you are putting a sum of all these particles, sum of all the particles is equal to capital M in total number of particles in the system, है ना? तो इसको अगर हम डेरिवेटिव लेंगे तो क्या होगा? ये तो जीरो हो जाएगा ना, बिकॉज टोटल नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल्स इन द सिस्टम इज ऑलवेज कांस्टेंट. एक्सीलेंट. तब क्या हो जाएगा? सो दिस पार्ट also becomes 0. So I am taking the derivative on both sides. Okay. Then the total energy of the system is also conserved. Okay. That means the total energy of this entire system क्या होने वाला है? We know that summation of, देखो EI एनर्जी लेवल पे कितने कैरियर्स हैं? Ni कैरियर्स हैं. तो इसका टोटल सम ऑफ ऑल द एनर्जी स्टेट्स, देखो यहाँ पर हाउ मेनी इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर देयर? 2 फॉर दिस एनर्जी स्टेट EI. तो 2 into EI. यहाँ पर हाउ मेनी आर हियर? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 8 into EI minus 1. ठीक है, ऐसे करके टोटल एनर्जी अगर आप देखोगे, दैट मींस इट विल एसेंशियली गिव यू द टोटल एनर्जी ऑफ द सिस्टम, दैट इज आल्सो कंजर्व्ड. ठीक है ना? So what we shall do over here is E capital E is equal to summation of I EI Ni. इसको भी हम डेरिवेटिव कर रहे हैं. Basically you get equation number 3. Then if you add all this is called method of undetermined coefficients. We are not going into that much of mathematics here. So you are essentially left with this relation. So when is this possible? Only when this factor is itself 0 always. तो अगर यहाँ से देखनी है, then basically you get this alpha plus beta EI. Okay, so let me just write a step over here. When this is equal to 0, ठीक है, that means log GI by Ni minus 1 should be equal to alpha plus beta EI. यहाँ से आपका सीधा निकल जाएगा Ni by Gi is equal to this relation. I have made a few step jumps, but you can see. So this is how Fermi-Dirac distribution function is derived. Okay. This derivation you won't find in the textbooks, at least in electronics textbooks. This derivation you will find only in statistical mechanics and advanced level physics textbooks. So that is the reason why I mean, I do not want to burden you. So this is basically the final expression. The reason why I have discussed this for this last 1 hour of around 50 minutes is that I wanted to share with you how this Fermi-Dirac distribution has come. कोई अगर पूछे कि ये कहाँ से आया, then you can explain whatever I have shown here. You can do this small mathematical derivation and you can arrive at this. Okay, if somebody asks you, but quite honestly, none of the industries at your level will ask you, but this will be an important question if you are trying to work on material science in the R&D division. Okay, if you want to go into R&D, only then this becomes important. If you want to do a PhD later on, this becomes important. If you are just looking for a job after your MTech, no, nobody cares. Your project principal investigator of your project in the industry, he himself may not know this. Okay, but R&D people will know this. I'm pretty sure of it. Okay, all right. अभी इस इक्वेशन को हम ध्यान से देखेंगे. Again, these are part of your lab experiments. So here what you will observe is that we will talk about Fermi-Dirac distribution. These are basically the distribution functions for Fermi-Dirac, Maxwell-Boltzmann and BE. What is interesting is that as the energy of the particle goes on increasing, you know what happens? All of them will merge together, as you can clearly see here. Okay, they are merging together. Only when the particle becomes like when the when the particle becomes close to the Fermi energy level, only then it becomes uh, different. Okay, why and all, you have to become a physicist for that. Okay, by the way, I am not a physicist, huh? Please don't make a mistake. Throughout my whole life I have been a pure electronics and communication guy, EC person. Okay, so I learned this in the course of my research work. So when I was in ISC Bangalore and IIT Bombay, over there they learned devices on a different level. So later on when I went abroad, then basically it's again next level. So this might be too much at because this is too much for you to grasp when you are learning for the first time, but believe me, this will become your second nature as you go along. um, so here, one interesting part of the Fermi-Dirac distribution function is that as the temperature varies, okay, look how it is changing. ये blue वाला क्या है? It is the lowest energy, lowest temperature, let us say. As temperature increases, that becomes smeared out. This has got serious implication in the practical devices. कौन कह सकता है? Can anybody tell us? Notice that, let me explain it like this. This is your EC and here is your EV. Listen to this carefully. Lot of mathematics and Fermi-Dirac distribution वगैरह, ठीक है? But what I am telling you now is of paramount importance for your interviews. They can ask you, like, what is the influence of temperature on the device performance? ठीक है? ध्यान से समझो. EV EC हमें पता है कि EF is somewhere here. ठीक है? Now, interesting part is when we are operating our devices at a lower temperature, say T1 is less than T2, then from this curve, ये curve हमें कहाँ से मिला? I have simply plotted this Fermi-Dirac distribution function over here, varied the temperature. That's it. ठीक है? EF का value यहाँ पर 4 electron volt है. We will understand what is the meaning of Fermi-Dirac or Fermi energy level after some time, probably next class. अब यहाँ पर देखो. What is the situation? The situation is that, notice, Fermi energy level is here. EF is equal to 4. EF is here. EF is here. Okay. So for the energies higher than Fermi energy level, we find that the probability of occupation is 0. So if we are plotting this same curve like this, so here is your FE, here is your E. ठीक है? यानी कि मैं इसी प्लॉट को मैं उल्टा प्लॉट कर रहा हूं. ठीक है? As simple as that. Then what do we observe? It will be somewhat like this. Okay. Now, what is interesting is when E is equal to EF, clearly E is equal to EF means e to the power 0 by kt. E to the power 0 is 1. 1 by 1 plus 1, that is half. As you can clearly see, exactly at this point when E is equal to EF, what is the value of the Fermi-Dirac distribution function? Exactly half, 0.5. Okay, so this is very trivial thing to note, but anyways, we will come to that. So that means exactly when E is equal to EF, this is 0.5. When E is much less than EF, it is 1. And over here it is 0. Okay. Now comes an interesting part. This is for T1. So as the temperature increases, what happens? Acha, at T1, what is the number of electrons in this EC? That is given by the area under this curve. So area under this curve क्या है यहाँ पर? That means it is almost zero, right? It is kind of aligned with the axis itself. Whereas over here it is 1. That means whatever is the energy state, that many number of electrons will be here. Think. सोचो क्या हो रहा है? Very, very interesting. Understand that what is the number of electrons? We say na that the EV is completely filled. Completely filled matlab this entire region below EV is completely filled with electrons. Completely filled क्यों है? Because the probability of occupation is 1. What does it mean? That whatever is the number of chairs, it is occupied by electrons. That's exactly what we did when we explained this one over here. Yaad hai na? I told you, if all the chairs are filled with electrons at this particular energy level, that means this is basically the valence band. That means whatever is the number of chairs, that is equal to the number of carriers in that energy level. Because all the chairs are occupied by by the electrons. So if there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If there are 8 chairs and 8 electrons are occupied in, so that means number of electrons is 8. Number of chairs is also 8. Okay. So that means probability of occupation of all the chairs is 1. Correct? So that means, what do we say? All the energy states below EF are completely filled. Completely filled क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि यहाँ पर probability of occupation is 1. That means जितने सारे chairs रहेंगे, जितने सारे energy states रहेंगे, उतने सारे electrons रहेंगे. Correct? Here what is the situation? Probability of occupation is 0. यानी कि chairs तो काफी सारे होंगे, but number of carriers over there is 0. ठीक है? अब now the things will change. टेम्परेचर को बढ़ा दिए. बढ़ाने पर हमने यहाँ पर इस फंक्शन को हमने प्लॉट किए ना. व्हाट डू वी ऑब्जर्व इज दैट दिस इज फॉर मच हायर टेम्परेचर. करेक्ट? ये देखो ब्राउन वाला क्या है? 400 डिग्री सेल्सियस. इससे क्या होने वाला है? दिस इज गोइंग टू गेट स्मियर्ड. So what does it mean? Below EV it is not 1 anymore. ठीक है? The new probability is given only by this, which is less than 1. Okay. On the other hand, the probability of finding the electrons above EC is not 0 anymore. It is given by the area under the curve, which is greater than 0. That means if you are increasing the temperature, okay, that means if you are increasing this temperature, so what is going to happen here is that you are essentially, if you are increasing the temperature, you are essentially pulling out the electrons from here, this point. These electrons are essentially coming and occupying this part. ठीक है? This phenomenon is called thermal generation. यानी कि सेमीकंडक्टर मटेरियल को सिंपली आपको कुछ बायस वगैरह देने की कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है. सिंपली हीट द मटेरियल. सिंपली हीट द मटेरियल. सिलिकॉन ले लिया एक बक्सा, और उस बक्से को आप सिलिकॉन का एक डब्बा ले लिया, and you are simply heating it. What will happen? Electrons will essentially transfer from EV to EC simply by temperature. This is called thermal generation. This is basically denoted by free carriers at 300 Kelvin. हम कहते हैं ना, what is the concentration of free carriers in 300 Kelvin in silicon? कौन बताएगा? Okay, this is of course rough value. ठीक है, 1.4 10 power 10 या 1.5 whatever. Getting me everybody? Basically we are mainly concerned about this order. ठीक है, so what is the physical significance of this? अभी सोचो, यानी कि अगर किसी ने डोपिंग किया, डोपिंग का वैल्यू है 10 पावर 8 पर सेंटीमीटर क्यूब. दिस इज स्टूपिड. Why? Because simply if you heat the semiconductor material to 300 Kelvin, you are anyway going to get 10 power 10 number of electron and hole pairs. तो ये डोपिंग करने का क्या मतलब? And that is the reason why whenever you are doping and you want your device to work at room temperature, that is 300 Kelvin, you have to dope more than 10 power 10, तो 10 से भी ज्यादा, 10 power 11 let us say. So this is called the intrinsic carrier concentration. I am sure you have heard this term. तो ये intrinsic carrier concentration मतलब कहाँ से आ रहा है? If you are instead of 300 Kelvin, if it is like 30 Kelvin, then the situation will be the one which we have shown a little while ago. मतलब ऐसा हो जाएगा. That means all the energy states below EV will be completely filled. All the energy states above EC will be completely empty. There is no probability of electrons to go and occupy the higher energy state, thanks to the Fermi-Dirac distribution function. Okay, but the moment you are putting it 300 Kelvin, room temperature, then it is like that. And that is one of the reasons why when we will start designing the circuits, when we will start designing devices, then as an engineer, we have to always keep this intrinsic carrier concentration in mind. उस हिसाब से हमें VT डिफाइन करना है, थ्रेशोल्ड वोल्टेज कितना होगा, नहीं तो आप सर्किट कैसे बनाओगे? करेक्ट? Can anybody?
Sir,
Somebody knows. हाँ, please, Ashok, tell me.
Ni at 300 Kelvin is this value, but Ni, as you said, I mean, are these totally in the conduction band? These electrons are there in conduction band?
This Ni, yes. We say na electron and hole pairs. What does it mean? If there are 10 power 10 electrons here, that means here this question mark is 10 power 10 holes. That means vacancies in the valence band. ये 10 power 10 electrons आया कहाँ से? Remember, I am speaking about this I region. I means what? I is basically intrinsic, right? So intrinsic means you have not doped it. So that means these 10 power 10 electrons, only one source is there. From the valence band to the conduction band. Okay, getting it. Ashok, very good. Why is it like, why aren't anyone else asking any questions? See, in quantum mechanics, solid state, statistical mechanics, you have not asked questions, understood. I mean, you don't even need to. But from henceforth, I am gradually going into real devices. I will scold you if you don't ask me questions, I'll tell you. Okay. Please ask me questions after when we begin with the proper devices. अभी proper devices आप समझ में आ रहा है ना? Like I have already started speaking about intrinsic carrier concentration and all. I mean, so now we have understood, like if in the interview, I'll tell you what, I mean, when I was in IIT Kharagpur at that time, in one of the interviews, I asked one student, what is the minimum doping possible? Okay, what is the minimum doping you can think of? I'm asking you guys. This, right? Sorry. So anybody can ask you in the interviews, what is the minimum doping? What is the order of minimum doping? Is around 10 power 11. Because 10 power 10 is the order of thermal generation. So if you are essentially doping it, say 10 power 9, Again, stupid. You are wasting your money, Intel's money, and you are wasting boron and phosphorus ions. Because boron and phosphorus ions are essentially going to give you the same order of, I mean, it will be masked by the number of free carriers which are generated anyway by room temperature. So what is the point? Okay, so the minimum doping you can go for any feasible practical application is at least 10 power 11. ये IC fabrication में पढ़ाया नहीं गया है क्या? In IC fabrication you are dealing with doping and all that, right? So all of you should have asked Parikshit sir से पूछना, sir, you are speaking about doping, ion implantation and all that. Okay, sir, what is the minimum order of doping we can go? Sir, what is the maximum doping we can go? You should ask. There is also a reason for that. We will understand that. हमें बहुत ज्यादा चाहिए. Very good. Let us put 10 power 30 per centimeter cube. क्या होने वाला है? क्या होगा अगर आपने 10 पावर 30 पर सेंटीमीटर क्यूब डोपिंग कर दिया सिलिकॉन को? डोनर है यानी फॉस्फोरस. टेल मी.
Substance will change.
Substrate will change. Change into what?
It is no more silicon.
सिलिकॉन का प्रॉपर्टीज चला जाएगा. सिलिकॉन तो रहेगा लेकिन सिलिकॉन का प्रॉपर्टीज ही चला जाएगा. इनफैक्ट why are you telling this? What is the atomic concentration of silicon? 10 power 22 per centimeter cube. Okay, so here there is no question of per at room temperature वगैरह, because atomic concentration is atomic concentration. उसमें आप कुछ कर नहीं सकते. Temperature dependency आएगा free carrier concentration में because of this clear thing, temperature variation of the Fermi-Dirac distribution function. ठीक है. Whereas in case of atomic concentration, this is the atomic density. So basically, if you look into the periodic table, you will find atomic density for each and every. There should be. Let me just check calcium. There will be atomic density also somewhere. Somewhere you will find atomic density. So that is always a constant for every. So you can check it out on the web. Okay, atomic density is kind of fixed. Okay, so this is atomic density of silicon roughly. So now what happens is, if this is the atomic density of silicon in the solid state, then what happens is, if you are essentially pushing in 10 power 30 तो भूल जाओ. अगर आपने 10 power 21 भी किया, what does it mean? Let us say 5 into 10 power 21. What does it mean? That for every 10 silicon atoms, you are essentially replacing one silicon atom by one phosphorus. I'm speaking of phosphorus because I have written Nd over here, donors. So you are replacing one silicon atom per 10 with phosphorus out of every 10 silicon atoms. यानी कि 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. I think this is foolish to do once again, but anyway, let's do it. So we are essentially replacing one out of this 10 and replacing it with. Okay, in this situation, what happens is, क्या होगा?
Enormous number of defects will be present.
Yes. So that means the number of carriers will be increased so much, and these defects will essentially break the bonds, giving you something very interesting. What is that called? Polysilicon. Okay, we will understand polysilicon in great details later, which will behave like a metal. So that is why polysilicon is routinely used for as the gate material, gate contact. And why is polysilicon used as a gate contact?
Fermi level is matching. I mean,
Correct. Very good. Very
yes.
good. And another very important part, Fermi level is matching. Yes, we will understand that in much greater details later when we deal with MOSFETs.
Many planes will be needed than single plane.
I mean, good for fabrications. I mean, when we are doing an implantation, oxide layer will be protected by these polysilicones.
Excellent, excellent. So fabrication की हिसाब से भी एक advantage है. What you said right away with respect to the bands will be aligned. Okay, so that is one of the major thing from PMMD perspective. From fabrication, IC fabrication perspective, also polysilicon is really helpful. So what is that?
Because of, multiple orientations in the
No.
structure.
Have you heard of self-aligned process?
Not yet.
Parikshit sir will teach you, I'm sure. So self-aligned process क्या रहता है कि if you are trying to deposit, आप metal कैसे दोगे? Let us say you have got an SiO2 layer.
We have not gone to that deposition, sir. We just
Yeah,
got the names.
you are going to deposit, right? Metal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean,
Whereas if it is polysilicon, advantage is that simply put it in the furnace, it is going to become polysilicon, and it will be perfectly aligned with the device structure. Whereas if you are doing it depositing metal, it is possible that the metal will spread like that. Essentially what it does is, यहाँ पर आपका parasitics आ जाएगा. This will lead to parasitic capacitance, which is very, very bad for the circuit designs. Okay, in order to reduce parasitics, we will try to use a metal contact which will remain completely aligned with the process. यानी कि पूरा ऐसा होना चाहिए. ऐसे बनाएंगे? That's why it's called self-aligned process, and that's why we will choose polysilicon.
sir,
Yeah.
at the starting of the today's class, can you go?
Yes.
So number of ways we can arrange Ni particles, and number of ways we can arrange Gi states. So Ni particles, okay, because they are distinguishable. But when it comes to Gi states, the energy states of particular energy level are all the same.
No. Energy levels are different.
Yes, I mean energy states of particular energy level are all the same, right? I mean
all the same. Yes.
Yes,
Because they are like the chairs.
Yes, sir. So when we are talking here, number of ways we can arrange Gi states means, on the whole we are talking, or we are talking at
No. We are talking about Gi ना. देखो, I है. We are not talking about Gi plus 1, Gi minus 1, and Gi. No, they are all different.
Okay. Then we are talking with respect to
ith
level.
Yes, exactly.
So in the ith level, all the states are same. They are they are not
They are indistinguishable. So you cannot distinguish between this chair here, and this chair, let us say. But you can differentiate between this chair and this chair, because they are in different energy levels. But whenever you are speaking about the same energy level, there is no difference. Okay, so that is why I have put the suffix I, indicating that it is only for the ith energy energy state, or the eith energy level. So that is why I have shown this this axis. That means this is the energy level increasing. Okay, so that means this is, let us say, simply put, this is the ground floor, first floor, second floor, third floor. So if you want to move the chairs on the second floor, there is no expenditure of energy. If you want to move a chair from the first floor to the ground floor, okay, big deal. You have to call the shipping people.
Sir,
okay, na?
And can you explain it again? Why energy states are going on decreasing when we go to the...
Sorry. Can you please?
Why the number of energy states are decreasing when we are going?
Okay. That is something which I have not explained. Okay, that is something which I have not explained yet. But I am happy that you have asked this question. Okay. Basically, what happens is it essentially depends ki, for example, that has to do with the EK diagram. EK diagram, we have seen that it will be somewhat like this, right? Sorry. Let's put a different color for the valence band. Okay. In this EK diagram, what is the variation which I have drawn? E is equal to h cross square k square y twice m. You will realize you can ask a question, how come this energy is inverted over here? Because whole have got negative effective mass. So that is a very important thing. We will understand this in the next few classes. So when the energy is going upwards, what happens is you are essentially thinking that, okay, there are, the number of, this is increasing. No, what is increasing is K value. Okay, so that means there is a wider range of possible K values in each of these energy states. Yeah, है ना? देखो, this is basically E and K is having a parabolic relation. So that means यहाँ से लेकर आप जितना एनर्जी ज्यादा बढ़ाओगे आपका K वैल्यू बढ़ेगा. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. But remember K is equal to 2 pi by lambda yani X. So that means if K increases as E goes on increasing, X will decrease, right? It is an inverse relation. So that means if we are speaking about the energy states over here, okay, what it means is as we go on with the distribution of energy states with respect to X, यानी कि इसी का अगर हम X के बारे में करते हैं, remember EC and EV has got application in what is this axis in band diagrams? This is band structure. यहाँ पर ये क्या है? Band diagram है for the actual devices. यहाँ पर आपका X रहता है nanometers, यहाँ पर रहता है K in. So if you are now plotting it with respect to X, यहाँ पर plotting it with respect to K, तो K के लिए जैसे energy बढ़ रहा है, if as energy is increasing above EC, this is EC, your K range is increasing. यहाँ पर क्या होगा? We just the reverse. So in according to X variation of E, what we will observe is that the energy will keep on decreasing. So that means the number of energy states along the X direction will go on decreasing. Okay, so this is the band diagram. So the moment you are talking about a real device will be in the band diagram X के हिसाब से. Remember when we are dealing with the PN junction, this was X, this is P, this is N, and now. So what is happening is you are essentially plotting this energy. So what is the y-axis? Energy. Okay. So when we are dealing with the band diagram of the actual devices, as an engineer, VLSI engineer, we will be interested in the band diagrams more than the band structures. If you are working with material science people, if you are in chemical engineering, if you are in material science, okay, MRC, then you will essentially be bothered about EK diagram, band structure of a particular material. But as electronics engineers, we will be interested over here. In this case, when it is E versus X, not E versus K. In E versus K, what we observe is that as E increases, K increases. So that means in X variation, K is equal to 2 pi by X, क्या हो जाएगा? As E increases, X decreases. Okay, so X decreases by 2 pi by K. Okay, Ashok, I think.
Yes, sir.
Got it, right?
And also this thermodynamic probability of occupancy, we can say like if you are choosing Ni energy states from Gi to place Ni electrons.
Exactly.
Combination.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, that's a formula for combination. Right?
Yeah, it's a problem. So this is whatever I have done today, factorials, these are just combination problem. Statistical mechanics is, as I said, it is statistics. And the statistics, the basic root of statistics is basically arrangement of the particles. So arrangement kya hai? Permutation combination only, right? Okay. So you have got 14 friends and you have got 4 balls. So find the number of ways that the 4 balls can be arranged among your 14 friends. Typical +2 level combination problem. Isn't it? It's a combination problem provided your friends are indistinguishable. Okay, it doesn't matter which friend carries which ball, and balls are also indistinguishable. Now suppose I say no, the balls are one red color, green color, brown color and yellow color, and your friends are 1 2 3 4 something something. Okay, then it is not a combination anymore, that is permutation. Okay, so that means it is now becoming a problem of arranging those 4 different color balls among all the 14 different friends. Then one of your friend will say no, I will prefer the yellow color ball. The other one will say no, I want the brown color only. So that becomes a permutation problem. That means number of ways which you can kind of arrange those 4 different balls between 14 different people. It's a permutation. Combination means doesn't matter. All the 4 balls are the same. All your 14 friends are the same. It doesn't matter. So that is what you find in football. One ball and there are 11 players. It doesn't matter who is basically playing with the ball, right? So that is a combination problem. Okay. Like, sorry, I'm digressing a little bit.
So,
yeah.
The thermodynamic probability, you have written the formula, right? G factorial,
yes.
right?
Yes.
But the probability will be always greater than 1.
This is which one?
Thermodynamic probability of occupancy, Gi factorial by Ni factorial into Gi minus Ni factorial.
This is basically...
but it comes always greater than 1, sir.
I am thinking, how should I put it? Should I call it thermodynamic probability or...
so if you call it probability...
function? Actually, it's correct. It's not a probability. Probability is the Fe factor. After everything, this is your probability. Okay. And FFD, as you can clearly see, it is always less than 1. This is 1, this is 0. Y-axis is FFD. So it is either 1 or to 0. So basically, it is always less than 1. So W is not... Yeah, you're right. Thermodynamic... what should I call it? It's not probability. Thank you.
I think it's the number of ways you can arrange. Like if there are 5 balls, 2 are red and 2 are black. So the number of total combination will be 5 factorial by 2 factorial into 3 factorial. So
correct.
It will be combination.
So basically thermodynamic, what should I say? Function of occupancy, thermodynamic...
arrangement of electrons and holes.
What factor will you say? Thermodynamic... possibilities, does it...
possibility, chances, I mean, all the
yeah. Thermodynamic... so I'll rather call it like this: number of thermodynamic chances of occupancy. Yeah, possibilities of occupancy. That sounds better. Thank you so much. In fact, this is an excellent observation. Correct. This is a thermodynamic number of thermodynamic possibilities of occupancy. Yes. Does it sound good? I think now it is correct. It is not a probability. Yes. You are perfectly right. Total thermodynamic possibility. Of occupancy. So then that is basically, it means that how many number of ways you can occupy. Simple.
So then the total thermodynamic possibilities still will it be multiplication like pi or some?
It will be pi. No, that will be pi, because pi means essentially, because as I said, total means essentially this, it is basically the possibility of occupancy. So here it is the number of ways you can arrange, number of ways you can do the combination over here at this energy level is totally independent of the number of ways you can arrange it over here. No, these are mutually exclusive events. Correct? No, it is not sum. It is going to be like these, and this is, remember, this is not the number which you are counting. It is the number of ways it is possible. Okay, yes. It's the same thing. Like 1/6 is one die. Okay, getting 5. Okay, on the top, and number of ways to get 5 on the top for 2 dice is essentially into this. That means you are speaking about the possibilities. So this is 1/6, this is 1/6. Correct? The same thing is happening over here.
Yes, but it happens chronologically, right? Means if
no.
From because the lower state to the higher.
No, actually, I mean, yes, you can think that okay, one of them are one after another. It is happening, but again, remember which electron is going and occupying. It doesn't matter. So basically, when all the fermions are thrust upon these energy states, so they, I mean, all the, मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि 1 2 3 4 करके आता नहीं है. There are billions together. So what they will do is immediately these 8 will occupy simultaneously. Then whatever is left will go up. So it happens kind of, we will consider as if it happens simultaneously only. Okay, because it will be very difficult to identify. As I told you, these are indistinguishable particles. ऐसा नहीं है कि you can identify, okay, first let me call up your names only. First Akash will come and sit, then Anant Tiwari will come, then Onisha Mondal will come, then Arpit Goel will come. I'm just reading out your names from this students list. So if we just keep on asking one after another, it never happens like that. It's a totally random process, and it is kind of instantaneous. So we will, and these are indistinguishable, right? So from my perspective, I do not know, I have even met you in person. So for me, these are just names. So if I have 34 chairs, I will just say, okay, come and occupy. आपको जहां जहां जगह मिलेगा आप वहां वहां बैठोगे. And this is going to happen so fast that we will consider it to be instantaneous. Okay, but what you have said is correct. Then how come this distinguishable is happening? But that happens in probably, I do not know, picoseconds maybe. So it is so fast that we cannot think that, okay, how is it coming in? Okay, so that is the reason why what we will do is we will not think of it as a summation anymore. It's an instantaneous process of getting it. Okay, but this point is really nice. Thank you so much. Who was this? I'm really kind of, I really appreciated it.
Ranit Teja.
Ranit Teja. Excellent. Thanks a lot. It's actually a thermodynamic possibility, number of ways of chaining. In fact, I should write it here. This is getting recorded. So number of ways of arrangement. Okay, this is just permutation combination. So I'll call it total here. So this is what? For all energy states. Okay, very nice.
So, can you upload these lecture notes and Google Classroom?
Actually, yeah, I'll just stop the recording. Otherwise,